On the bustling space station of Narath 7, the corridors hummed with the movement of hundreds of species, each more exotic than the last. Shimmering carapaces, tentacles with delicate luminescent tips, multi-eyed beings, and the occasional human crowding the metal walkways. It was a melting pot of the galaxy. Among them, Lyra, a rare hybrid species, half human, half cat-like alien, kept to herself. Lyra's fur shimmered with a soft grey hue, speckled with faint stripes that glimmered under the artificial lights. Her large golden eyes reflected both curiosity and insecurity. Her ears, elongated and expressive, twitched constantly at ambient noises. Despite her uniqueness, she had spent her entire life feeling inadequate. The hybrid colony had a subtle, unspoken rule. Purity was admired, hybrids tolerated. Her half-human features were often mocked by other aliens as awkward or plain, while her feline aspects, though graceful, were considered exotic curiosities. For years, she had avoided mirrors, avoided public gatherings, and avoided the very beings she longed to understand. Her only solace was in her work, repairing small spacecraft and mechanical drones for travelers passing through Narath 7. Tools and circuits didn't judge her. They obeyed her. One evening, the station's cantina was alive with chatter, laughter, and the faint hiss of anti-grav engines outside the observation dome. Lyra had been summoned to fix a malfunctioning service drone in the corner of the cantina. She crouched delicately beside it, her long tail coiling behind her, hands deftly weaving wires together. As she worked, she noticed a human sitting alone at a nearby table. Humans were rare on Narath 7, but this one seemed different. He didn't stare or snicker. He simply observed her quietly, sipping a steaming cup of synthetic coffee. Lyra's tail twitched. "He's probably judging me," she muttered under her breath, her voice a soft purr-like tone. She tried to ignore him, focusing on the drone. Minutes passed, and the drone whirred back to life with a cheerful beep. Lyra straightened, brushing her fur off her hands. The human stood and approached her table. "Excuse me," he said, his voice warm, tinged with awe. "I couldn't help but notice you fixing that drone. And I had to say it." Lyra's ears flattened slightly. "I'm listening," she murmured, wary. He smiled, a human smile, gentle and sincere. "You're beautiful." The words struck her like a shockwave. She froze, her golden eyes widening, ears twitching in disbelief. Beautiful. She had heard insults disguised as jokes all her life, had been called a freak or a weird hybrid. Never beautiful, be beautiful. She stammered, her tail curling nervously around her leg. "Yes," he said, unwavering. "There's something about you. Your focus, your grace, the way you move. You don't see it, but I do. You're amazing." Lyra's mind raced. She wanted to laugh, to shrug it off as a joke, but the sincerity in his eyes was undeniable. For the first time, she felt seen at for being half alien, half human, but for being herself. "I don't know what to say," she whispered, her ears twitching nervously. "Then don't say anything," he replied. "Just let yourself be seen." Over the next few weeks, the human whose name was Evan kept returning to the cantina. He would bring rare human delicacies, small gifts from Earth, and he always made time to watch Lyra work, sometimes chatting about mundane things, star charts, drone mechanics, or the odd behavior of the station's security AI. At first, Lyra was hesitant. She'd been hurt before. Trust didn't come easily, But Evan's kindness was patient, unwavering. Slowly, she began to smile more, laugh more, and even meet his gaze without fear. One evening, as the station's twin suns cast long golden beams through the observation dome, Lyra and Evan found themselves sitting on a quiet balcony, looking out at the glittering expanse of stars. "You know," Evan said softly, "most humans and aliens think hybrids are mistakes, but I think they're extraordinary. You're extraordinary." Lyra felt a warmth spread through her chest. She had always hidden, always doubted herself, always believed she wasn't enough. But here, with Evan, she felt the truth of his words resonating deep within her. "Do you really mean that?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "I do," he replied, taking her hand gently. His fingers were warm, grounding her. "You don't have to try to fit in. You don't have to hide. Just be you." For the first time in her life, Lyra didn't shrink from the world. She didn't see herself through the lens of judgment or ridicule. She saw herself as Evan saw her, beautiful, capable, extraordinary. Word of their unlikely friendship and eventual romance spread slowly across the station. Some hybrids whispered, curious about Lyra's change in demeanor. Other species observed, quietly intrigued by the human's influence. Lyra no longer felt the need to hide. She began helping other hybrids, showing them that beauty and worth weren't defined by purity or conformity, but by confidence and heart. Months later, Lyra stood before the cantina's crowd, receiving a small award for her innovations in drone mechanics. Her fur gleamed under the lights, her tail swished confidently, and her golden eyes sparkled. Evan watched from the front row, pride and admiration radiating from his expression. As the crowd applauded, Lyra caught Evan's eye and smiled. Not just a smile of gratitude, but of self-assurance. She had learned that being different was not a curse, was a gift. And sometimes, all it took was one person willing to see the beauty in someone that they themselves had overlooked. That night, as the station's lights dimmed and the stars stretched endlessly above, Lyra curled up beside Evan, tail wrapped around him, purring softly. For the first time, she felt at home, not just on Nerith 7, but in herself. The galaxy was vast, full of judgment and prejudice. But Lyra had discovered a truth that resonated across planets. Beauty is not in perfection. It is in being unapologetically, fearlessly you. And in that truth, she found love, confidence, and a future brighter than any star she had ever repaired. Asterisk.